not only takes one back to the spiritual sky, but gives him the opportunity to become involved in Radha Krishna's most intimate pastimes in Vrindavan.
Lord Chaitanya has said that he would preach all over India.
Lord Chaitanya would preach all over India.
But he would send someone else, a devotee, to spread the message around the world.
But he would send someone else, a devotee, to spread the message around the world.
This is written in the Puranas, in the books about Lord Chaitanya.
This is written in the Puranas and in the books about Lord Chaitanya.
In the Chaitanya Mangal, particularly it says,
in the Chaitanya Mangal, particularly it says
that Narada Muni went to the spiritual world
that Narada Muni went to the spiritual world
and expressed his concern at how would the people in the materialistic yuga or Kali Yuga get delivered.
And expressed his concern how the people of this materialistic yuga, Kali Yuga, get delivered.
So Lord Chaitanya said, I will incarnate, I will appear in the Kali Yuga and spread the chanting of the holy names.
Lord Chaitanya said, I will appear, I will incarnate in Kali Yuga and spread the chanting of the holy names.
I'll preach all over India.
I will reach all over India.
And I will send my Senapati Bhakta.
And I will send my Senapati Bhakta
500 years later.
500 years later.
To preach all over the world.
To preach all over the world.
So, as His Holiness Bhakti Charu mentioned,
so as His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj mentioned,
it is not an accident that Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he went to the West.
So it is not an accident that Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada went to the West.
500 years after the appearance of Lord Chaitanya.
500 years after the appearance of Lord Chaitanya.
To fulfill the prediction.
To fulfill the prediction.
Prithvite ache yata nagaradigram.
Prithvite ache yata nagaradigram.
Sarvatra pracharite hoibe moranam.
Sarvatra prachara hoibe moranam.
It shows how one Indian can go with a mission and change the whole history of the world. One Indian can go.
It shows what one Indian can go and change the whole history of the whole world.
Prabhupada, when he was meeting with the Americans,
Prabhupada, when he was meeting with the Americans,
he told them, you are not American.
Prabhupada told them, you are not American.
You are not Russian.
You are not Russian.
Or Chinese.
Or Chinese.
And I am not Indian.
And I am not Indian.
Because we are not the body.
Because we are not the body.
We are the spirit soul.
We are the spirit soul.
We are the eternal part of Krishna.
We are the eternal part of Krishna.
One time in 1974 in Nellore, India, Srila Prabhupada was on a morning walk. And as he was walking, one disciple inquired from him, Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he could have spread Krishna consciousness throughout the Western world. Why did he not do it himself? And Srila Prabhupada replied,
He left the credit for me. He loves his devotee more than himself.
he left the credit for me. And yes, Srila Prabhupada has received that credit for spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. Love of Godhead's sublime embrace. Who else? Srila Jai Pataka's heart interlaced. Who else? The lotus feet of your divine grace.
I am happy to learn that International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, is celebrating Golden Jubilee of voyage of its founder, Acharya Srila Prabhupada to America and foundation of ISKCON in Kolkata on August 13, 2015. I extend my best wishes to the organizers and devotees. Narendra Modi, New Delhi, July 14, 2015. Now the message reads, I am happy to learn that International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, is organizing a yoga event in Kolkata on August 13, 2015. The concept of yoga can be interpreted in infinite ways. If we start following even a single interpretation of yoga in letter and spirit, it can transform one's personality individually and the society as a whole. Owing to this inherent quality, the philosophy of yoga has become more relevant than even before. I convey my best wishes to the organizers and participants and hope this event will bring positive changes in the life of participants. Signed, Narendra Modi. I think the applause should be loud enough for him to hear. And here's Ms. Tulsi Gabbard. Ms. Tulsi Gabbard, an American Democrat, and the first Hindu member of the US Congress, which is equivalent of our parliament. She chose the Bhagavad Gita to take her legislative oath. We're grateful to you, Ms. Gabbard, for reminding us of the greatness of Hinduism. I still haven't understood how can someone so beautiful be an Iraq war veteran. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting a video address by Ms. Tulsi Gabbard.
Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna. When I was invited to join all of you on this most auspicious celebration, I was immediately overcome by feelings of both humility and great joy. I'm blessed and honored to have this opportunity, and I want to thank you from the core of my heart. Although my attempts to offer praise to my beloved grandfather spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, can be likened to a child offering a small torchlight to the sun. Out of His kindness, Lord Krishna beckons me to do so for my own edification. Throughout my life, I, like so many of you, have been faced with stressful, challenging, or fearful situations. But in all these situations, I've had the great fortune of being able to find solace, inner peace, and spiritual happiness by taking shelter in the holy names of Krishna. Indeed, simply by uttering Jai Shri Krishna, my lips taste sweetness beyond compare, and my heart leaps for joy. But the fact is, if not for the compassion of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, I never would have achieved this supreme treasure of Krishna's holy names. Srila Rupa Goswami says, "A person who is unable to bear another's distress is called compassionate." It was this compassion that drove Srila Prabhupada to attempt something so brave and so daring to deliver the message of Lord Chaitanya and the holy name to all of mankind. We get a glimpse of the compassion that Srila Prabhupada felt for all of us in a poem which he wrote in honor of his spiritual master, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He wrote, "The jivas have reshackled themselves with the heavy chains of ignorance and delusion, and as they swim about in the vast ocean of material existence, in a frenzied attempt to reach the shore of peace, they perish. This lance of misery pierces my heart as it similarly afflicted you, Srila Prabhupada, who suffered so upon seeing the suffering of the misguided humanity." Out of this compassionate desire to help us cross the ocean of material suffering, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami embarked upon a long and difficult voyage across the Indian and Atlantic Oceans. He was already advanced in age and in relatively poor health, yet his compassion drove him to commence the journey anyway. While on this journey, he suffered 2 heart attacks, all the while taking shelter in his spiritual master and Lord Krishna. Those of us who are the spiritual children and grandchildren of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada would all be lost orphans were it not for his compassion and mercy. My Gurudev, Srila Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, has said that while we will never be able to repay the debt of gratitude that we all owe Srila Prabhupada, what we can do is be pleasing to Him by always taking shelter in the holy names of Krishna. By taking shelter in the names of Krishna, we too may become lovers of Krishna, whose lives are motivated by compassion and love for others. My dear friends, in this way, with the sweet names of Krishna always upon our lips and in our hearts, we will always be able to transmit the transcendental nature and glories of Srila Prabhupada's journey to the United States of America and the Western world. So on this historic and auspicious day, we should take this opportunity to beg for the blessing of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, so that we too can taste the nectar of love for Krishna and be motivated by compassion to use our lives working for the spiritual and material well-being of others. Again, I thank you all for this opportunity. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Prabhupada came in March 71, and he brought several of his disciples to a house. I was a Mayavadi, follower of a totally different school. But my parents were both Vaishnavas, and they had invited him. There in the midst of all these devotees, there was one outstanding young man, and Srila Prabhupada wanted him to become an Indian citizen. My father, who was a member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, and treasurer of the Congress Party, 1971 and 77, I hail from a family of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He was requested by Prabhupada, please make him an Indian citizen. My father was thunderstruck. Why would an American young man, handsome, tall young man, become an Indian citizen when hundreds of Indians were